All right, we're going to do a quick video on some doing your own soft tissue work for the front of the thigh. And today we're going to use a basic foam roll. There's a couple of things you want to think about when you're doing your own self-care work here. First is you want to be able to have complete breaths when you're doing your soft tissue work. So complete inhales and complete exhales. That's super important to maximize the results of your time spent doing your own soft tissue work. Secondly, we want to be able to take our time with this. This shouldn't be rushed, so spend 4 to 6 minutes on just one area, starting from the hip and working your way down towards the knee. So, breathing, taking your time, and third, pay attention to your body. If it is so painful, then find something that is a little more soft and that you can adapt to it more easily. This shouldn't be torture. Usually, if it's really painful, that's telling us, one, that the tissue quality is not ideal. You're using the wrong tool, something too hard or too firm. You're holding your breath, or you're moving too fast. So usually it's some combination of one or more of those 4 things that is causing you to be too uncomfortable when doing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off using just the roller on one side at a time. I'm going to place the roller high up onto the hip, coming down to the forearms, and I am bringing this non-treating leg out to the side so that my knee and foot are on the ground, and that helps to keep my pelvis squared and my shoulders squared up to the floor. So where I'm at right now is not very tender, it's not very uncomfortable, so what that can tell me is that the tissue quality is okay. So I'm going to slowly shift my body forward so that the roller goes down a little bit down the thigh, until I find an area that's a little tender. Once you find that tender area, you're going to hang out and you're going to breathe, and you're going to relax into it. I'm not moving at this point. I'm just letting the weight of my body rest into the foam roller and focusing on the breathing. If it is too intense, again, find yourself either another tool to use, or you can even deload some of your body by coming up onto the hands and taking some of the weight off with that other knee. If you find that it is pleasantly uncomfortable, then just hang out there, focus on the breath until you feel the release occur. And that can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds. There's no time limit we need to put on this. Now, as it starts to soften and release a little, you can start to add some what we call pin and stretch. So the weight of my body is on the foam roller, and now by bending slowly that knee, we're putting a little bit of length through the tissues of the front of that thigh, and that's going to add another dynamic or intensity to the foam rolling. And as I'm bending the knee, that tissue is being put on a little bit of a stretch, and it increases the intensity a little bit. This is important to move and bend that knee slowly. If you do it quickly, it's going to be very uncomfortable. And remember that we need to focus on the breathing. Now, as I bend the knee and putting a little bit of stretch on the tissue, I can also get a little bit of external, internal rotation of the femur by windshield wiping back and forth. And as I do this, I'm seeking out those tissues that are a little bit tender. So right about there is a little bit intense. So I'm going to hang out there and breathe. And you can play with that stuck tissue by manipulating the position of the femur and the bending and straightening of the knee. If I wanted to access a little bit more of that lateral side of the quadricep muscles, then I can place a hand on the ground and bring this knee closer towards my body, which will tilt I rotate that pelvis a little bit, and now I'm closer to that outside portion of the thigh. And I can repeat the bending and straightening of the knee, nice and slowly, and windshield wipe. We can continue this process a little bit at a time, all the way down towards the top of the knee. Now, a lot of people do foam rolling on the IT band. That is not really a productive use of time, and it's excruciatingly painful. And we'll talk about that in a future video on how to better treat iliotibial restrictions and binding. Foam rolling is not the best way to do that. So this particular technique is designed more for the front, a little bit of that lateral portion of the quadriceps, and even the medial side as well too. So we're looking at this region of the thigh with the roller. So take your time with this. Remember to breathe. Spend about 4 to 8 minutes or so going from the hip down towards the knee, and hopefully this will help you. This is really good for low back pain and tightness, hip pain, knee pain, and just basic everyday self-care to counterbalance those of us who sit a lot at a desk at work or in the car. Hope this helps. See you soon.